Indy, Monaco, Le Mans. There are many great races in the world, but for amateur drivers, one race stands above all others. For the past 50 years, the Sports Car Club of America Runoffs has been the pinnacle of amateur motorsports. A single, winner-take-all event that can take a lifetime to win and only split seconds to lose. This is where champions are crowned, where professional careers are launched. This is where greatness is born.
So far this weekend, 68 Miatas have taken times for the 3 qualifying sessions and the practice. We'll have to see how many of those make it to the race. But right now, the record sits at 60 cars taking the green flag. Randy Popst, multi-national champion winner here at the Runoffs in a Miata in 1992 in Showroom Stock C. Tell us what these guys are going to be looking for here today in Miata.
I have now the great historical honor of being the first person ever to win a national championship in SCCA racing with a Mazda Miata. I think there's how many could there be by now? Like 50 of them? But I was first. And you can't take that away. And I'll tell you what, fans listening out there in internet TV land, make sure you got your drink in your hand. Make sure you've gone to the restroom. You do not want to miss this race. 68 evenly matched Mazda Miatas, bump drafting down the straights, 4 wide into the corners at Road America. It's going to be so cool, and I wish I was in it.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is shaping up to be by far the pinnacle of Sports Car Club of America Runoffs action here with Spec Miata. Just some of the stats that are in this. We talked about the cars that are taking the green flag. There's 6 national championship drivers that have championships here that are racing in this class. 29 rookies are making their first start in a Runoffs history in this class.
Wow.
We have 2 husband and wife drivers that are competing in this class. I mean, you go through the list here of what's happened here and everything that's going on. It's just amazing. You have Joey Jordan, who actually competed in the Spec Miata National Championship races with NASA 2 weeks ago. He's competing here this weekend. Kyle Watkins, he has the most runoff starts in this class with 18, so his 18th year of competition at the Runoffs. It's just amazing. If you want to go through stats and you're a stat man and you want to do some stuff, this is the class you want to focus on.
Look at that. Peter Tonelli. I used to race with him in Showroom Stock B. He had a Toyota MR2 back there in the old days, in the early 90s. Good guy. I didn't know he was here. Just like you said, you never know what's going to crop up here. Matthew Van Verst, also known as Chip Van Verst, back there in 53rd. He's way better than that, so I don't know what happened with him. Oh, okay, I got the wrong guy here.
That's all right.
And but it's his brother, so I was close.
Hey, it's still a family, and that's what this is all about. We talk about those families. We mentioned Whitfield Gregg and his wife Amy Mills are racing. We also have Michael Novak and Krista Novak that's competing here in Spec Miata. So not only do you have people going for championships, you have people going for head of household. Who's going to be in charge after this weekend?
And why would somebody choose to run Spec Miata?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's probably got to be...
I have two reasons in mind. One, and what I consider the most important reason and the best reason, is these cars are all identically prepared and the racing is incredibly close and competitive. Number 2, it's incredibly inexpensive. Now, anytime you want to win a class at the SCCA Runoffs, you have to spend some money to make everything right. But in the Mazda Miatas, it's probably less than any other class, I'll bet. And if you're not crazy about having the absolute best of the best, you just want to get out there and have somebody to race with, this is the class to do it in. You could bring the same old car and run it all year, and you don't. The engines last, the rear ends last, the transmissions last, the tires last, the brakes last. Getting the message here?
Oh, absolutely.
Low maintenance, high hours on track is why we see so many Mazda Miatas on the grid in Spec Miata.
Well, also you got to go with the support that Mazda provides these drivers as well. Not only the parts discount that you get, the tech support you can call anytime to them and say, I'm having this problem, what's going on? They'll walk you through it, talk you how to get it fixed and make it happen for you. I've seen them next day air parts to racetrack. It's guaranteed Saturday delivery to get somebody back on course at an autocross or an event just to have that support. Man, it picks the race of Miata.
It really does, and it's fun on top of that. The Miata is the quintessential modern sports car. When it came out in 1990, it was a remake of a Lotus Elan, actually, but far more reliable and inexpensive. And boy, did it work, and it still does. They're so well balanced. I heard a story this morning about some NASCAR drivers a few years ago that were driving Spec Miatas here at Road America. I think it was just before the first nationwide race. And they were using the Miatas to learn the track and to learn how to road race, because these are circle track guys. And at first they were joking about the little cars, and they're not manly like their big V8 circle track cars. And after one session, they were coming back with big smiles on their faces saying, you know what, this is great racing. This is fun. And you're neck and neck. You get on these straightaways, you got to know how to work the draft. You got to know how to pass somebody and make it stick. Because if you get in front of the guy, but you don't get the good exit, him and 3 more Miatas are going to go by you. It's part of the reason why this is going to be a great show. I'm so looking forward to this race.
Now, you won your national championship in a Miata, but that was in showroom stock category in C. Spec Miata's been a national class since 2006. Never had a repeat winner. Let's talk about that. Jim Drago on the pole was last year's national champion. Can he repeat, be the first 2-time winner in Spec Miata?
I believe he can. Jim Drago has, he's on pole. All 3 cars at the top of our qualifying sheet here are from his team, East Street Racing. So they're doing it right. And he's always a factor. He's definitely the favorite, for sure.
Now, is that his team, or is it a team that he's driving for?
I don't know.
How's that work? Because, you got to start talking about, is it going to be team orders? I mean, it's we talk about, that's been in the news lately.
Really doubt
all
that.
these team orders, Is it, hey, the first 5 laps we can go nose to tail, after that it's anybody's game? Or is it, hey, when the green flag drops, we're racing?
Are we going to have to come up with that kind of a version of that new NASCAR rule where you have to try?
That's right, yeah. I guarantee you all 68 of these guys have taken time so far this weekend, they'll be trying.
Oh, yeah,
Promise
for sure.
you that. I think all 690 competitors here this weekend will be trying.
You know what? In fact, that is Jim's team, East Street Racing, and they got the top 3 cars. But you never know, that could be because the 3 of them were working the draft. 2 Miatas are faster than 1, and 3 are faster than 2. And for goodness sakes, if you can get 6 guys together, it'll be even faster. The reason for that is it's aerodynamics. The first car is the only one that has to break the wind. The next ones are in the draft. And if everybody lines up, everybody in that line goes faster. Problem is the guy in 6th doesn't want to be in 6th. He wants to be in 1st. So he's going to pull out and try to pass. And we're going to see that time and time again here at Road America. And it could be that if the front of this pack cooperates and they run right in line, they might be able to get away from the guys behind who are trying to get up there. There's some really good cars further down in this group that are going to be working their way up. How about Elevin Goulart? He's a winner in the national championships. Nick Leveroni, a winner in Spec Miata. Joey Jordan back there in 23rd. He can run with the leaders. And it's something that's going to change the complexion of the race. Oh, here's a dark horse. Danny Stain from down in Florida. 42nd on the grid. He's going to be coming straight forward. You watch.
We talk about some of that support with Miata and Mazda and what they provide. John Biziano's on pit lane with one of those gentlemen.
Well, actually, I'm with Dean Case, the communications department of Mazda. Dean, we've known each other a long time, and I am just always amazed by the participation of Mazda here at the Runoffs. How many Spec Miatas do you have here?
We have 69 starting in the Spec Miata race, but we have 201 cars total here at the Runoffs. We have 28.3% of every car at the Runoffs is a Mazda or Mazda-powered car.
Why does Mazda do this?
Well, we have the basic building block. If you want to go road racing, you're going to buy a Miata. You can buy a used Miata for next to nothing and turn it into a great race car for the most affordable price out there.
How much does a season cost? For someone sitting at home watching this, looking at these cars, everyone on this grid was sitting at home watching at one time. I mean, it's something that anyone who wants to can do it.
Well, you could buy a used Spec Miata for under $10,000. How much you spend is all a function of how much your travel budget is, your crash budget, and everything else. But this is we think it's the most affordable form of racing today.
And enjoyable, for heaven's sakes, you know.
It's amazing competition.
Okay, what's it like? You've been talking to these guys all week. Has anyone said, my gosh, what am I doing here in the middle of 80 other cars, for heaven's sake? So what's it going to be like when the green flag drops?
Well, they actually love the fact that there's so many cars, because even if you're in 50th place, you're having a 7-car battle for 50th place. So everyone has someone to race with. You're not lonely. You're not running a 4-mile track with 11 other guys. You've got 68 guys you're competing against, and women. We got a few women out here. It's not all boys.
Does it sell cars?
Well, yeah, it builds loyalty. These are the best brand ambassadors you could ever have. Every one of these people is the car geek in their community. You don't buy a minivan without talking to your friend over here who races Spec Miata. They influence not just sports car sales, but CX-9s, CX-5s, Mazda 2s and 3s. So win on Sunday, sell on Monday is a myth, but influence all week long is the truth. We sell parts all week long, but these are our greatest ambassadors.
What's the difference between the guy up there on pole and the guy back there in 80th something?
Read Mark Darnew's book, The Unfair Advantages. All those little bits. It's driver coaching. If you don't know anything about driving, go to Skip Barber Racing School. Go to find out who the guys are at the front. Look at their cars. I mean, a lot of it is just basic setup, attention to detail. Everything counts in racing.
Well, listen, I want to shake your hand and congratulate Mazda and thank them for all that you do for the Sports Car Club of America.
This is our favorite event of the year. We have 2 other events this weekend, ALMS and MX5 Cup. We have twice as many staff here at the Runoffs. This is the heart and soul of what we do. These club racers keep us in business.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
All right, guys, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it sure is. We talk about all that support that Mazda provides, and it's even down to writing press releases on how great these guys do and put that out to a national media. I mean, it's great to race a Mazda.
Jeff, when I got my Mazda Miata, the support program was the most important reason why. I could win contingency money, I could get discounted parts. I was working with a guy named Steve Sanders, who is recovering from a battle with disease. And Steve, I want to wish you the best. We're looking for you to be up here at the Runoffs with us next year, maybe even racing a car. He's never been the driver type, but it would be fun to get him out there. So the best to you, Steve Sanders, and your family at Mazda Speed Motorsports. And we're really looking forward to this race. I'm seeing some more great names back in the field. Andrew Carbonell, he races the MX-5 over there in some other series. He's in 25th, but his time is only 2 seconds off pole, and in a Miata, 2 seconds is a good draft here at Road America.
Yeah, it sure is. And speaking of those names and what we got going on, let's go ahead and try to read through some of this grid here as the guys are rolling off for their pace lap. Top 15 cars in qualifying were better than the existing Spec Miata lap record. But on the pole, it will be your 2012 Runoffs champ, Jim Drago. Can he make it 2 in a row in his East Street Racing Mazda Miata? I'm not going to say the car names. It's all Mazda Miatas.
That's
Starting
right.
on the outside of the pole, the guy who wants it bad in that Berry Marble Granite Miata, Craig Berry. Eric Stern starts in 3rd in his E Street Racing Ed's 24-hour service. Daniel Binder in Glencoe, Illinois in his Bravo Trailers Miata starts on 4th. Steve Gregorian, a past Spec Miata championship. He won it in 2009. He starts in 5th. Patrick Sandlin starts in 6th, and another one of those East Racing Streets Community Mortgage Miatas, Andrew Carbonell. He won before. He's a 2010 Miata champion. He starts in 7th. Matt Reynolds is 8th in that Reynolds Brothers Race Engineering Miata. 9th, Tom Brown, the Advanced Auto Sports Custom Wireless. And we go back to the top 10. That will be Tom Brown in 9th, and right here in Wisconsin, the Advanced Auto Sports Custom Wireless. I've said him already. Wojtek Burzy out of Elkhorn, Illinois in the Advanced Auto Sports. Who we have in 11th?
And we got a multi-time champion, Elevin Goulart, racing in his SAC Racing, www.scda1.com, Mazda Miata. 12th is Matthew Ferris, his teammate. 13th, Jason Knutson from Danville, Illinois. Ted Cahall with his coach, Todd Lamb, right next to him on the grid in 14th and 15th. Next up is Nick Leveroni from Flat Out Motorsports, driving the very car that I will drive on Sunday morning in STL. Nick, good luck to you, and don't hurt my race car. Tom Sager in 17th. 18th is Chris Haldeman from Anna, Texas, with X Factor Racing. 19th is David Bednars from Ann Arbor, Michigan, the Dynomax exhaust car. And then from Auto Technic is Alex Bolanos from down there in Miami, Florida, my old neighborhood.
Starting in 21st, Thomas Roberts out of Naperville, Illinois in the Doghouse Racing Miata. Starting in 22nd, it will be Jarrett Gerber out of Dogville, Wisconsin. Local boy here in Milwaukee region of the SCCA in the Mobile Repairs, Alicia's best friend. Joey Jordan starts in 23rd. Jordan family's been long-time Mazda and Miata racers. He starts in 23rd in that mixednails.com OPM Autosports Miata. Jamie Randall out of Watertown, Minnesota, and the Randall Racing, the alignment guy, starts at 24th. 25th is Andrew Carbonell. You mentioned it before, out of Miami, Florida, that BSI Racing Miata. Huge BSI team here. They run MX5 Cup as well. Danny Stein out of the Adapt Rossini OPM Trackmate in 26th. Luke Bickham starts in 27th. Jeff Luckritz in 28th. Justin Elder 29th. And Anthony Gersia in 30th.
Guess what, Jeff? I have the wrong qualifying list, so a couple of those names I listed may have been out of place. Back here in 31st, Michael Ross from Texas. 32nd, Brian Schofield from Lakeland, Florida. Isn't he a former champion
as well,
in Spec Racer Ford?
Spec Racer Ford.
Michael Collins from Maryland. Scott Brunk from West Virginia. Jeff Labonte in 35th. 36th, Michael Novak, running with his wife Kristen. And then 37th, Stephen Powers in the AmeriFirst Financial car. 38th position, Peter Tonelli, my old buddy from Massachusetts, driving a Mazda. I think he's a Toyota dealer. Don't let the Toyota people know. In 39th, Josh Balicki, who actually offered me his car, is running out here with Trimtex sponsorship. And then Mark Drennan in the 40th position.
Boy, talk about cars. We can keep continuing on through the field here as the guys are on their warmer lap coming through the carousel. It's going to take a slow pace lap here to get all of these cars bundled up. But in the 41st position, Charlie Campbell. Starting in 42nd, Brett Finsky in the Finsky Motorsports Miata. Whitfield Gregg, we talk about that. Another husband-wife team there in 43rd. We'll get to the wives a little bit later here. Mark Cefalo in the PlanetMiata.com starts in 44th. And Whitfield's wife, Amy, starts right there behind him in 45th. They'll be right front, nose to tail. Maybe those two guys
She's a strong driver too,
can
Jeff.
team up. Greg Blaster starts 46th. Peter Naumberg starts 47th. Richard Mooney in 48th. John Costello in 49th. And Henry Van Verst in 50th.
That's Chip, by the way. He's there in 50th, and his brother's also running. But in 51st, Jeff Van Bendigum, Van Family Racing from Wisconsin. Michael Crawford is next in another Planet Miata. Chip's brother, Matthew Van Verst, in the CowboysForAngels.com Miata is 53rd. 54th, Douglas Spencer and Fast Frogs. 55th, Lon Blazer. Then Jim Kettlecamp, David Cox, Domenico Lucci, and Brian Whistler getting it back to the 60th position as they're coming through the last corner.
Yeah, we got to go ahead and watch this pairing here and look at this. I call it a gaggle of Miatas. How about this? Going to set the record for most cars taking the green flag at an SCCA runoffs. This is going to be history in the making here at the 50th running of the 2013 SCCA runoffs. Onto the front straight. Pace car is out, waiting for the green flag. Here's your official starter at Road America. There it is. Green flag, we're underway. Jim Drago on the inside. On the outside, it's Craig Berry. Craig Berry has a little bit of a lead right now, but he's Drago's got that inside line into turn number 1, and it's 4 wide behind them down the straightaway.
It is a veritable rushing river of Miatas coming down into turn 1. Let's make it clean, boys and girls. 2 by 2 through turn 1. Amazing. A little bit wide line there for one little Miata.
3 wide, 4 wide, dropping 4 wheels off on the inside. Everybody gets cleanly through turn number 1. Will it be turn number 2? It is. Jim Drago and Craig Berry, 1-2 right now. We'll get the rest of this field sorted out. There's a good look at the number 4 Miata of Joey Jordan. He got a great start. He's up into the top 12.
We got the left lane and we got the right lane. 2 lanes of Mazda Miatas, flat on the gas, 7,000 RPM, 2 wheels in the grass. 1 car goes around the outside. Somebody gets pinched in the middle. Big wiggle, but they're still okay. And we got some serious waving going on as somebody's getting away into a lead.
Yeah, Jim Drago dropping way back. It is Craig Berry way out in the lead now. Drago all the way back to it looks about 7th there. So not what happened, not what he wants to have happen.
They're still 2 and 3 wide all the way up the hill from 5 into 6. This is a 2-line racetrack. I never knew that before I saw the Mazda Miatas running here in Spec Miata. Make that 3 and 4 lines out into the grass, and the guys keep right on going.
That's going to make your own line there. Is it now they touch there sideways there.
Sideways.
Got a car sideways right in the middle, and there's contact.
Oh, it's mayhem back there in turn 6, and it's getting worse. It ain't over, folks.
Oh, man. Not one. Oh, there's a big
It's
hit
not
there.
over.
Stopping
It's
right in the
still
middle of the
not
track
over.
there.
There's going to be a yellow.
We see the number 66 of Luke Bickham there involved in that.
Oh,
the number
too
98.
bad.
Oh, that's unfortunate there. Charlie Campbell and his Miata. The 0-2 getting back underway there. Boy, that was just an incident where cars
Matthew
got together.
Van
We
Verst.
had
Yeah,
guys.
you know, it started when those two guys got off in the grass. When they came back on, they were a little slower, and everybody started stacking up. Somebody got sideways, and the pack just ran over him.
Here's Thomas Roberts going down on the carousel on the right there, trying to get his car out of harm's way. Don't think that's really that important here, but great heads up, finds that gap there. And it's still green until there is a full course yellow.
Oh, yeah.
These guys will be racing here as we'll get this field strung out. A great battle there brewing here between the number 41, that's Wojtek Burgi, and then Elvian Goulier is still working his way up through there. And Todd Lamb, the number 81 Miata, in that mix as well. But it is right now leading this round, the number 29 of Craig Berry. Right behind him is Stephen Gorgorian. Stephen Gorgorian's a past Spec Miata champion. He wants it as well. Boy, there's that draft up the hill.
And he had a really good run on the first lap, and they're taking that short line up the inside at Road America. I never knew that until today.
Daniel Binder in third, and you learn something new every time. Even though the consummate professional you are, you can always learn something. I learned that from my driver coach, Stan Fox, way back in the day. He told me
Isn't that the truth?
Always learn as you can go, and there's some learning going on here. Stars are going to start really where I can draft, where my car going to be better, but it is nose to tail. You mentioned it before in that lead group. If you see Jim Drago back in fifth, it is the 67 of Carbonat in fourth right now.
Now they're running in pairs. You'll notice on these long straights, there's not a whole lot of pulling out if you want to stay up front. You need a partner. I think these guys are going to stay in line and try and whittle it down to the top few cars if they can pull a gap.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out with the caution flag coming up here. It will be a local yellow, I'm sure. We have the white flag there right by that Sargento bridge, and here is the safety vehicles on the course now. Now it is, you are allowed to race. You're still at speed, but you have to give a heads up here for these safety vehicles. Now down to the inside, it is Craig Berry being held up. He got way out of the gas there. Local yellows here. Not sure what that pass is going to be because...
Oh, man, the whole Spec Miata gang coming by the safety truck. Lord have mercy.
Yeah. And it's not yellow flag.
You wouldn't get me to sit on the back of that truck
I'll
right
tell
now.
you what, those are some of the unsung heroes here.
Yes, they
Berry
are.
takes that
brave.
position back over Daniel Binder for second, but now into the lead it will be Daniel Binder in that number 18 Miata out of Glencoe, Illinois, that Bravo Trailers machine.
We got a ton of
he's
safety
in third. I
equipment
apologize.
there in turn 7, and it's a local yellow, so no passing. But you don't have to slow down very much, and I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, Gregorian is leading, and it appears that Berry slowed down, and that let Gregorian and Binder get by him. I'm not sure that was the proper move to do for Berry because, once again, it was not yellow. It's caution. You do a heads up. You don't have to back out of it and get out of it like you would normally would do in a yellow flag.
I'll tell you, that was a lot of equipment down there in 7, and it made sense to be a little bit careful. And I don't think Gorian is going to be able to hold that lead all by himself. I think you're going to see these other Spec Miatas just run him down on the straightaway using the multi-car draft.
Yeah, a little lead now pulled out by Stephen Gorian, but here they come down into the braking zone there, looking onto the inside and protecting. That was Carbonat protecting the inside there right behind him. And
you know, they pop out, they take a look. Am I going to try him? Maybe not. Back in line again.
just a big line here as they'll get the draft underway. We still have a long way to go here before we get back underway.
We got
for the
Berry
end of
right
this
back
thing,
up on the rear bump of Gorian there. I'll bet you he goes by him on the straight.
Is that going to be more of a power thing up this hill, or is it going to be a draft down into turn
I don't
number
know.
one?
Let's watch and see how it develops. He may choose to just push him because, look, he's gapping the field behind him. And now they've spread out behind him.
There
you get
he
hung
is.
out in the draft. Yeah, he's just pushing him, and they're flying down that front straight.
Look at that, nose to tail. You can't touching him the whole way as he's starting to peek to the inside now. Braking zone is coming up. You'll see right where the pavement changes there, right on the brakes, as they're hard on these brakes down there. These cars are all ABS, Randy?
Not at all. These are the only ABS is in the driver's right foot.
There we go. That's what we like to hear. We are full course now. We are full course yellow. As you'll see these drivers back off. Looks like there's too much out there on the track. We got to go get picked up now,
Well,
but we will be
I
full
think that's
course
a good
yellow.
decision, Jeff. That's a good decision. Full course yellow means that the pace car is going to come up and it's going to slow down the whole field to give the SCCA corner workers a chance to clean up all the carnage from that really unfortunate episode. It looks like we got some guys spreading out. Have they got, yeah, they're under yellow. So any passes that happen now are going to be penalized.
Yeah, once those
yellows are important.
Once the great staff here at Road America and SCCA get on the scene, they can evaluate the situation. Obviously, they felt that was in too much of a dangerous position there for themselves. Went ahead and go full course yellow, get these guys wrangled back under. We'll get the pace car out and get these cars cleared off the track. Still plenty of racing to go here in
Jeff,
Spec Miata.
Coming out of turn 5 there, I'm sure I saw some guys that haven't even noticed that yellow yet and we're still racing. So it'll be interesting to see how the stewards handle some of that action. But this is a real unfortunate part of a big field. If one guy gets in trouble, he usually takes a few other cars with him. And unfortunately, that's what happened in turn 7, precipitated by some off-course driving. So you had a couple cars that were a little slower come back into the mix, which creates a bottleneck and trouble.
Going to go to a replay here of just some of that action we were talking about in that bottleneck that Randy's going through. You see there's cars, number 66 there right in the middle. Luke Bickham, he's probably praying nobody else hits him. A couple other cars did though. Matthew Van Hurst in that 08 Miata there. Number 98 was a huge hit there. Hopefully that driver's okay. Charlie Campbell there, but wow.
But
great.
They can get a discount on their parts to rebuild those Miatas and be right back at it next month.
Well, that is a good point there for you, for Randy. And we're going to get the cars tucked up behind the pace car. We'll get the entire field there. We'll get this track clean. Until then, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. The 2013 SCCA runoffs are brought to you by Mazda. Zoom, zoom.
It's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You wish the freeway on-ramp was your personal racetrack. Well, buckle up, buddy, because the Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and events across the country, the SCCA has all the excitement you can handle. Dance the blacktop two-step with SCCA Solo. Get down and dirty with SCCA Rallycross. Or go wheel-to-wheel with SCCA Club Racing. Hit the track with the SCCA, where America's best drivers race.
He ignored the naysayers and never compromised. When Thomas Edison threw the switch, it changed everything. Engineering without compromise. This is the Mazda way. And this is the Mazda CX-5. Skyactiv technology makes it lighter yet stronger, earning a top safety pick. And more fuel efficient than any hybrid SUV. This is the uncompromised Mazda CX-5. What do you drive?
Well, welcome back to the 2013 SCCA Runoffs. This is our Spec Miata category. If you're just now joining us at speedcasttv.com, welcome. We are under a full course yellow. Had sort of a bottleneck here in turn number 7 where a car got loose, some side-to-side contact off that, and it was just unfortunately, with this pack racing and as close as the racing is in Spec Miata, we had an incident, Randy.
Yeah, that's one good thing about qualifying up front is that you don't get caught up in stuff like that. I was talking to one of the Spec Miata guys yesterday, and he says, yeah, if you're back in the pack, that's being in the kill zone. In other words, if something goes wrong, you can get tangled up real quick. But guess what? I did see Nick Leveroni go by in the flat-out motorsports car, so my car's still okay.
So as long as everybody is okay, then your car's fine, right? No matter what happens.
You know what? Nick has the fastest lap of the race right now.
So
go, Nick.
You know what that means?
It means I'm going to win STL?
You have no excuse if you don't win STL. The car is there.
Well, it's not exactly competitive over there, but it'll be great to be in that race. Okay, and I'm not surprised here to see Danny Stain up to 10th place already from 26th.
Yeah, great run for him through the field. Got a great run and a great start, moving his way, picking guys off sometimes
Strong
1, 2,
driver.
3 at a time, as we saw him going 4 wide through turn number 3. Looking back, we got to talk about winning in championships. How about Elevon Goulart? Won this morning in STU in his Lotus Exige. Comes in Spec Miata. Starts, I believe it was 11th today. Yeah, started 11th. He's up to 7th now. Looking to see if he can make it he's a 4-time champion now. He was a 3-time before today started. Now he's a 4-time runoff champion. Can he make it 5 in a row here this weekend, sitting 7th?
Wow, lucky dog. He gets to get out there and race. And the guy can obviously get the job done because he's won in a lot of different cars. He shows his capability. Now these cars are swerving back and forth for 2 reasons. 1, they want to keep their tires warm, keep some temperature in them. 2, they want to keep them clean. When the race tires are driven slowly, they'll pick up whatever's on the road surface, you know, little rocks, stones, especially rubber from the other tires, and they can get loaded up and really be ineffective on the restarts. So there's a double function to all that funny swerving around that you're seeing on your screen right now at home.
And if you're wondering where your favorite driver is racing and what position they're at in the Spec Miata category, look at the top of your screen there, that Mazda scroll across. Pick out who you want to win or who your favorite guy is, or if you're a family member watching your brother, son, father, daughter, grandpa, grandma racing, you can cheer them on and find out where they're at. As they're going underneath that Johnsonville, the Speedville bridge there as you enter the carousel. That's a pretty daunting corner. What's it feel like in a Miata going through there and then down into the kink?
Well, you know what? The Miatas have so much grip compared to their horsepower that the carousel is a flat-out run for the guys at the top of the field. You come out of turn 8 and go through that carousel, 3rd gear, up to 4th gear, up to 5th gear on the exit without ever lifting. And when you get to the end of the corner, let me tell you, you are just drifting the car. I'm unfortunately watching the cars go across the top of the screen here. The good news is I see my car, Nick Leveroni, is up to 20th. The bad news is my good friend Andrew Carbonell must have been caught up in that crash. He's one of the cars not running. And another thing that you need to be careful there at home is don't get Andrew Carbonell confused with Andrew Von Charbonneau. Both of them are from South Florida. These are two different drivers, and Von Charbonneau started this race in 7th. I didn't notice where he is right now.
Sitting in 3rd right now, and let's go ahead and do a quick rundown here. It is going to be Steve Gregorian. He is your 2009 Spec Miata Championship. He's sitting in 1st. Craig Berry was leading. Looks like he backed out during that caution period, and you know, they got around him, but he worked his way back up to 2nd now. And then we talk about Andrew Von Charbonneau sitting in the number 67 Miata in 3rd. Jim Drago, your safe racer pole position winner, in 4th. Eric Stearns in 5th. Daniel Binder in 6th. Elvion Goulart, we talked about him before, he's in 7th. Matt Reynolds is in 8th. Tom Brown in 9th, and Danny Stein is in 10th. That's your top 10 running order in Spec Miata right now. And you look at the top 3 guys, there's 2 championships between them. Top 4 guys, 3 championships between those drivers. It is anybody's race here.
They're up there for a reason.
A guy from 20th can win. Nick, who knows?
I hope he does. And I did see he's got wheel marks all the way down one side of the car. There's been a little rubbing his racing going on with the Nick Leveroni entry. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the strategies play out in this race, because these top guys they're wise about this. They know you need a draft, and at the same time you need to be near the front. So those are conflicting goals. Draft means stay in line. Be near the front means pull out and pass. So you got to choose the right time to pull out.
Now we talked about it. Brick Benjamin and Dorsey Schrader. If you joined us earlier at speedcasttv.com, you can always go back and rewatch each race. The STU race, we had Elvion Goulart in his Lotus Exige, Mark Hoover right behind him. They drafted coming out of the corner. It appears Mark Carr had more horsepower, and he was able to get him before the line. In a Miata, if you're behind somebody, where do you want to be on that last corner? Do you want to be the leader, or do you want to be the guy behind him? Is there enough time coming out of the final corner to get by the guy before the line in a Miata?
It is my opinion that if you come out of turn 14, the last corner at Road America, with a good exit, that the Miata behind you is not going to be able to get by you. You need more of this straightaway to get a draft. On the other hand, if he gets a better run, he might be able to beat you to the line. But the finish line, we've got a view of it right here in front of our broadcast booth, is maybe a third to halfway down the straightaway. And 2 evenly matched Miatas, you're not going to pull out the pass until the other side of that. So let's think about that. Canada corner is where you need to take the lead. And you run a little tight line into entry to 14. But if you're running a tight line, the guy in 3rd place may get the better line, and he may be able to go by both of you. Because of the lower power of these Mazda Miatas, there may be 120 horsepower in their current configuration, which in SCCA racing is on the low end. They're not accelerating real hard. So keeping speed up through the corners is critical, especially on the last corner of the last lap. So if you slow down trying to defend your position, the guy who gets a good run, now he may be able to beat you to the line even from 3rd or 4th place.
Yeah, we talk about rookies in this race. We said there's 29 that are making their debut in the SCCA runoffs here in Spec Miata. 29 drivers just in this class, but one of those is Eric Stearns, who is making his first start. He finished 3rd in the national points championship for the season in Spec Miata. He's sitting in 5th right now. Not a bad run for that young rookie.
So a rookie at the runoffs, but not a rookie in the Miata, because he's been running well all year. But the runoffs raises the pressure. It's a bigger reward. This is the big kahuna here. You win at the runoffs, you're the top amateur in the country.
Well, also with Mazda, there's a special Mazda gift here this whole weekend. If you win a championship in a Mazda, there's a ladder system they have. You win $75,000. You get invited to the shootout at Buttonwillow Raceway with all the other Mazda National Championship drivers, and then you get a chance to go race an MX-5 Cup.
That is a huge award, and it could be so meaningful for a driver that's trying to build a pro career. For a good driver who wants to make that step from the club racing level to pro racing, where he might actually be able to get somebody to pay him to drive a race car, which is the dream of almost everybody here. Maybe not the goal, but certainly in their dreams, getting somebody to pay you to drive their race car is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, just cannot thank Mazda enough to give young drivers, old drivers, an opportunity to do that. I've seen Michael Cooper come up through the Pirelli World Challenge ranks in his Mazda Speed 3, won the MX-5 Cup, moved his way up there. We've seen Elliott Skier won it one year. He's racing in the Playboy MX-5 Cup now. Just a multitude of drivers. Andrew Carbonell, I believe, was the first one that won it. Tom Long, you know, racing
the clean diesel Mazdas over there.
Mazda 6 at Grand Am now. Yes. Ran a Miata in Grand Am and Continental Challenge Series. So
for years,
you know, it's amazing that the Mazda has that. And then they have the Road to Indy program that Mazda has now with the 1600s and the 2-liter cars going up to Indy Lights. It's really a cool thing. And getting the track cleaned off and pace car here, and getting word from race officials that we should be going back under green, completing the 4th lap now. This will be the start of the 5th lap at the green flag. Once again, it is Craig Berry in 2nd, but taking the lead right now, Steve Gregorian. Steve Gregorian is leading the Spec Miata, but it can change just like that coming around here into Canada Corner.
Yes, it can, and I want to remind you drivers that if there's somebody slower in front of you, you're going to have to actually slow down. You can't just drive through them, okay, men and women? Oh.
Well, I wonder if anybody has Speedcast TV on their dash watching it live to see what the action's going on. That'd be interesting to see.
Their crew chiefs ought to have it, because you can learn from it.
Yeah, see where you're doing good and where you're not doing good. Coming up through the hill here, through the S's that they have here at Road America, into turn number 14, head up the hill. Pace car will pull in, and we will go back under green here, starting lap number 5. 13 laps or 40 minutes, whatever comes first, as they come up the hill here, looking for the green flag. There it is, as now, side by side, great run from Jim Drago up into 3rd now, as he's going to move around. I believe that's the 67 of Carbonell.
Good jump on the start. Not Carbonell, Charbonneau.
Charbonneau, sorry. Carbonell.
Down into turn 1 they come, and Steve Gregorian is still up in front, towing along Craig Berry.
And it looks like everybody's minding their P's and Q's here so far for the first couple of corners, as they are going to stay nose to tail. Calm down a little bit and get underway, but it's not like that back in about 20th. They were side by side on the exit of turn number 1, 3-4 wide.
Jeff, we're watching the leaders in turn 3, and the last place guy just crossed the start-finish line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of cars here, and I believe we did set the record for most starts in Spec Miata or most starts in any class. And here is side by side for the lead. It is Craig Berry and Steve Gregorian. It is going to be battle for first.
Holy mackerel, look at that late break by Gregorian.
Yeah, he did that. Either that or it was a late breaker.
On the outside. He's in the dirt. He loses a position.
Yeah, back to 4th.
And they're
for
3 wide, coming
Drago.
up into turn 6.
Another
tire
touch there.
smoke off the side.
Boy, hold your breath, folks, because this is exciting. There's the number 7 of Elvian Goulart. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He's still sitting in 7th place, but wow, what the battle here is. He's moved up to 6 now. Sorry about that. He is up to 6, but it is still Steve Gregorian leading over Craig Berry, followed by Daniel Binder, and then it is Jim Drago in 4th, your safe racer pole position winner.
There's Mick Leveroni down the inside picking up a position. Come on, wow, they're spread out in the lead.
Everybody Is the tire temps play a factor here when you cool off the tires like that? Do you have to get these back up to temperature now?
No,
and how long
Jeff,
does that usually take?
They're more worried about overheating the tires, and it's going to be a factor later in the race. The guys who are too hard on the tires are going to start backing up. Right now, everybody's got some great Hoosiers on the car. They're just right on that first lap.
Yeah, through the kink here, down into Canada corner, hard on the brakes. It will be Steve Gregorian once again. Craig Berry right behind him, and then is that number 67, Andrew Von
Charbonneau. And then
there
there's
you go.
Drago. Stearns on his tail.
The young rookie there in 5th, right behind the 2012 national champion. You got to feel pretty good about your rookie season here at the Runoffs to be behind the national champion. Going to follow him up to the front and see if I can get my first national championship rookie. And look at the action here in the back. Is Joey Jordan making a pass over the number 06 Miata. That is the 06 of, sorry, got to try to find it here on the list.
I know what
Such
you
a long
mean,
list
Matthew
here, man.
Ferris.
Yeah, Matthew Ferris, who actually started way in 12th, and he's actually moved all the way back now to, it looks about 17th, so not sure. You see how quickly it can change here in this running.
Well, it's changing right now. The draft has brought the field back together again, brought Berry right up to Gorierin's bumper, but not enough to get by him. Charbonneau up into 3rd, towing Drago with him.
It is a battle for the lead against the top about 8 cars right now.
Top every car. They're nose to tail, and you're just going to see the strategy when somebody decides to try to make a move, because you can lose positions as easily as you can gain positions.
Yeah, Charbonneau.
Look at that line.
Charbonneau looks to be in the catbird seat here as he can hold off Drago pretty good and has a great run on Berry. And there's Drago pulling out. He's going to try to see if he can make his run now. He's got a drafting partner as Eric Stearns decides to go with him. Nope, backs in, but nope, and then goes back with Drago. He can't decide where he wants to go, but it is Charbonneau on the inside of Drago. Takes the position into 3rd, holds Drago off. Is Drago trying to make that move?
Is Drago going to try him in 6th? No, he's not. But they're too wide at the end of the top 10 line.
So in this race, Randy, are you full speed the whole time, or do you think some of these guys may be saving something? Are they testing each other, saying, hey, where am I going to have an advantage, or do I just need to be in front no matter what?
The guys have to lift sometimes when they're in line to keep from hitting somebody, especially in the corners. On the straightaways, they will bump draft. They'll just drive right into the car ahead of them and give them a little shove. It makes both cars faster.
Saw Charbonneau there drop a couple wheels off, got back underway, didn't lose anything there. If anything, he got through the corner, made it a little bit longer, and got a run on Craig Berry. But now he's dropping back in the clutches of Drago, coming into the kink here. The draft will play a factor coming down into there. Look at that number 97 of Eric Stern. Started in 3rd. He is right behind Drago. Can he get the draft? He's got help behind him.
From Goulart. Elvin Goulart's right in there, and Daniel Bender making his presence known. I'm impressed with how Gorierin is handling. He's strong in the corners, but then on the straightaway, it's all about the draft as Charbonneau stuffs it down the inside of Canada.
Look at that, right down on the inside, but Craig Berry says, no, you don't. He's going to stay right there. Got on the brakes. He did not force the issue there. A little too early to do that. I think if this is lap number 13, he is not going to do that.
Right. They're still trying to work it. Gorierin very strong in the lead, especially out of Canada corner through turn 13.
And there goes Bender on the inside of Brown. He retakes that position, lost it in Canada corner. He got that spot back. As coming up the hill, it still is Steve Gregorian in 1st, Craig Berry 2nd, Charbonneau. The battle is on now. Here it is now.
Von Charbonneau left out to dry. East Street cars are lining up. One team working together to try to get Gorierin up front.
They're not working together now. They're going to go 3 wide into 1. They start thinking that's not a good idea. Down on the inside, though, in the braking zone. Wow, look at the action here. Side by side, door handle, 3 wide on the exit of 1.
Oh, my gosh, and they're making about 115 miles an hour on that front straight. Now down into turn 3. Gorian still hanging on to the lead with Berry in 2nd. Drago up to 3rd. Berry and Drago are on that same team, the East Street Racing.
You see some hand signals there from guys saying, hey, follow me. But look at that. Craig Berry pulls out now side by side with Steve Gregorian, and they're going down the straightaway here.
All the way down, and you just watch, man. The cars behind are going to reel them in because they're not quick when they're side by side.
Now Craig Berry has to be careful here as Drago to the inside.
Berry. Oh, big hit. Von Charbonneau and Drago out through the weeds.
Wow, that car bouncing around. He's going to lose about 3%. Oh, no, there's this.
Good.
Oh, big hit
He's
For
done.
Charbonneau, that is done. His day is done.
Charbonneau is punted off the track with a little bit of help. Oh, it was just one of them things.
Yeah, no fault of his own. Unfortunately, those two guys got right. Major damage to this car. He's going to sink it into the sand trap. That's going to be a huge heartbreak for him. He was your 2010 Spec Miata champ. He is done here today.
And again, it all started when he got off the road, came back on a little slower, and you get a little bottleneck. And then, you know, if you're standing still and the river is flowing, you might get swept away.
I believe that was Elvian Goulart, and I think that's Matt Reynolds that they got tangled up with there. So we do have a replay of that. We'll see if we can see exactly who that was as they come over here. And right there, you know, giving some room.
It was a double.
Yeah, Goulart was giving him some room and got the car on the driver's left, had nowhere to go, went back to the right.
Bumped by another guy. Oh, we got more of them off the road in the kink.
That looks like Daniel Bender.
Kink? No, it's the kink.
Is that Daniel Bender, the number 18 Miata there on the left, and the number 27? That's Tom Brown. Those two guys in the kink, and not a place where you want that to have happen.
Sorry to see that. That's a big one, man. There are no small crashes in the kink. That's some pretty good speed from those guys coming into a yellow.
I'll tell you what, that is a hit there. But
no, I mean the drivers maybe should have been a little more careful, because I know the SCCA corner workers got the yellow out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, boy.
On the other hand, it's the runoffs.
It is the runoffs, man. You don't give up anything until you get to that yellow. But here it is.
Back in the front is that Barry. He's pulling out to go by Gorian again.
And you talk about that run. He got a great run out of 14, got the draft, got around him, but he did not get that done before the finish line. So if he's going to try to do that at the end of the race, it's not going to work. He's going to have to make it happen before. But now it is Craig Berry in the lead. Stephen Gregorian is second. Eric Stearns in third. Jim Drago fourth. Matt Reynolds fifth.
Yeah, we're missing a couple of cars. Now it's the ones we saw off the road in the kink.
And here's Gregorian back onto the inside. And he's got the position. Berry gave it to him. How about Eric Stearns there, right in third place, the rookie making his first runoff start, has a podium position right now.
We're going to see some passing right now. I can see that line starting to close up.
Oh, there's a big protection there, yes.
Well, you're allowed to move once.
He did. He moved once, and now Drago right behind Barry. The two teammates teaming up here.
Mercy.
Look at this with the draft. Staying to the inside, though.
Down the outside. Turning in on the outside of Gorian, 2 wide. Good racing, 3 wide.
Top 7 cars, but they're racing up to a caution and safety vehicles there. Wow, you got to be careful here. That is extremely dangerous.
I don't know about side by side through a yellow.
Oh, wow.
More waving.
Oh, man, that is going to have to be looked at
I'm
after this race.
I'm not real sure who I penalized, but well, they didn't pass each other. They were side by side when they got there, and they went side by side all the way through, right?
Right now it is Craig Berry leading that gaggle there with Steve Gregorian second, Jim Drago in third, and Matt Reynolds up to fourth now with Eric Stearns dropped back to sixth with Matt Reynolds in fourth.
Okay, that's Reynolds in the 74 car.
74, he's in fourth. Eric Stearns in fifth.
Is back there. Yes, I'm
Goulart
trying to pick up those numbers.
We're trying to see these guys as they come through here.
The Miatas shift to fifth gear right here. They're doing about 105 as they enter the kink. And the kink is flat out, but just barely. You can run it when your tires are good, you're flat through there.
At 110, 120 miles an hour?
110 miles an hour, and you can't go too wide. That may have been what happened to our friends that ended up in the wall.
But the battle is on for the lead in Spec Miata. We have a top 5. Looks like they broke away a little bit. Stearns in 5th, followed by Reynolds up there, right behind Reynolds in 4th. Back to the lead, though, it is Craig Berry, that number 29, Berry Marble and Granite. East Street is first. East Street, Steve Gregorian is second, and then his East Street teammate Jim Drago in third.
And where's Danny Stain? I'm looking at that 39 car. He was 8th across the line last time by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He must be that yellow car at the end of the line, unless there's been some passing.
This group,
Stain, he's up to 7th.
And this group being led here by Wojtek Birdsey in the 6th. You said Danny is in 7th, and then Goulart all the way back to 8th, but we can change that really quick. Look at that. Yeah. Boy, did Gregorian got hung out there. Craig Berry in 1st. Reynolds up to 2nd now, with Stearns back to 3rd. Up to 3rd now. Boy, how about Gregorian back to 4th and Drago to 5th. Boy, it changes lap to lap, corner to corner now.
Yes, it does. We got Reynolds all the way to 2nd place, tailing Berry, and I think Reynolds wants to lead. I'll bet you he's going to go for it right here. He's got a little gap to Barry if he can draft up on him. Does he have the motor to draft up on Barry? He'll be pulling out about right here when they go to 5th gear if he does. And I don't think he does.
Working on 4 laps to go. Next time by, it'll be 3 laps to go, so time is running out. You have to have your strategy set now. It's coming down here. Craig Berry in the lead. Matt Reynolds in second. Eric Stearns in third. A battle now. Jim Drago on the inside of Steve Gregorian. Steve losing positions, was in second across the line last pass by. He's dropped all the way back to 5th now.
Oh, man.
6th and 7th.
Steve is going backwards quick. He's rubbing wheels with Danny Stain through turn 7. Side by side. I didn't think you could do that.
Yeah,
well
Danny
done,
Stain
kid.
side by side there, and looking to pounce on that will be LVN Goulart. He's wanting to go. He's sitting in 8th right now, but wants to move up.
Tell you what, Barry looking strong in the lead there. Stain still side by side with Gorian. That's not good for speed.
Eric Stearns,
the
the
two-car
rookie, in
Drago
third.
is still hanging on to the lead pack.
And Craig Berry, something is wrong.
Oh.
It is a miss with his car. He has
Oh,
pulled
he's out
off
of the
drivers
lead.
right there. He is into
A
the grass.
mechanical.
Oh, no.
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak. He was fast in every session. Was right there on the heels of his teammate Jim Drago. Started on the outside of the safe racer pole on 2nd position. He has pulled off to the right. His race is done.
Ouch, that's unusual. That puts Reynolds in the lead, but he's getting freight train down into Canada corner.
Down here,
Stearns,
nose to tail,
can't
it
get
is
by.
the rookie Eric Stearns, Jim Drago, 2012 Spec Miata champion in 3rd. And how about 4th place? Wojtek Bertzi in 4th in his number 41 Miata. Good run from him all the way back in 8th. The last lap, he's up to 4th now. The battle's on for the lead here.
Oh, it's getting hotter and heavier. We're getting closer to the finish.
Got to get a good run up the straightaway here. Nose to tail.
Reynolds leading, Wojtek Bertzi in 4th, and there's about 3 Miatas and a sheet of paper in between them. Oh, they're pulling out. See you, Matt.
Look at that,
He's got
Eric.
guys working together on the outside, and they draft right by him.
Eric Stearns being pushed by Jim Drago down the straightaway. It is Drago in 2nd. Boy, how about that? Look at that. There goes Drago down to the inside.
He's
Stearns
thinking
hard
about
on the
it.
brakes. Boy,
He's got his wipers going.
can Jim Drago play the Iceman here? Got the young rookie and got the past champion right there. Way wide for Stein out of turn number 1.
He's trying to make that wide line work, but he's lost the lead draft. But these 4 guys are going to be duking it out, and I think it's going to slow him down. I think Danny Stain is not out of this race yet in 5th position. You got to stay in line and make that draft work down the straights, and they're pulling out. That's a bad move.
We know Eric Stearns is a teammate in the East Street Racing with Jim Drago, so you have the 1 and 2 guys are teammates.
Yeah.
Can they work together and pull away? It doesn't look like that as Jim Drago goes to the lead down on the inside here. Stearns in battle for 3rd. He does not want to lose that position, but look at
Bertzi takes an advantage. He's going to try him in turn 6. That's a tough pass, but he's fully next to him. With a nice late break, he'll be through. Well done, Wojtek Bertzi, the 41 car, up into 3rd position. Drago looking strong and in lead.
He sure is now. He's got his teammate Eric Stearns, the rookie, behind him. Says, follow me, son. I'll show you how it's done. He's in the lead now in that beautiful Mazda Speed Miata from East Street Racing, the granite tile Mazda Miata. Talked to him at length on Tuesday. Was really excited about his car. We had a guy go off into the braking zone there.
Yeah,
not sure who that was.
Downs.
That is the number 68 of David Bednar's into the sand trap. Not sure if that was a brake problem or an issue there. Just missed the braking zone.
It was mighty straight. I think it might have been a brake problem. Maybe it was even pedal knockback, where you hit the pedal, it goes right to the floor because you run over the curves back there in turn 7 and it knocks the pedals back. Drago leading, looking strong. They're lined up behind him to try and reel him in. He's got his teammate Stearns on his bumper, and we got a 2-car draft trying to catch him. I think Reynolds and Bertzi better run together until the last lap if they're going to stay in this race.
Boy, Stearns goes way wide there, and boy, did you look at the oscillation that those left side tires did over those rumble strips.
Oh,
boy,
they rumbled.
That's got to be some vibration through the steering wheel.
You bet it is. These Miatas can take some punishment, and they're getting dealt it right now.
But right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 it is. Jim Drago, Eric Stearns, Wojtek Birdsey, and Matt Reynolds. But that was not the way they were the last lap. It's changing lap to lap here, coming down the straightaway. Jim Drago in the lead. Eric Stearns, his teammate, drafting it. Can he get up there, tuck him, push him some more? It's going to be a pair, and he does just that. Comes right up, gives him a little bump, pushes him across the line. First and second, teammates Jim Drago, Eric Stearns.
Birdsey in third, trying to hang on to that lead draft. They just get into fifth gear on this long uphill straightaway and break about the 3 marker and down to fourth gear for the fast turn 1. 80 miles an hour is a good speed through this corner in a Spec Miata. Big wiggle from the white car. Oh, he's still in trouble. Brakes. Oh, that hurt.
That was Jason Knutson,
and he
the
lost
number 5 Miata.
Hoosier tire right out into the road, but everybody missed it.
Yeah, Jason just got that car a little bit loose. He was the 2009 Formula 500 runoff national champion, but huge error here. Got way wide out at turn number 1. The car got loose. He caught it, but unfortunately, once you get out in that grass, it's hard to steer the car. You didn't want to hit that wall.
It's hard to control the slides in the grass.
That's
the truth. And up in the lead, Drago's leading, but Stearns is trying to get him around the outside. And Birdsey, Drago takes out his teammate. He didn't mean to. Got all sideways in the brake zone. Spins Stearns. Reynolds is now trying to take Drago into 6th. And it's Birdsey in the lead, the local hero from right down the road in Chicago.
Yeah, how about that? Matt Reynolds to 2nd, and Jim Drago back into 3rd. Looks like the rear tire's locked up on that. He got it loose in the braking zone.
I hear some skidding up there in 6th. Probably a downshift, Jeff, because I don't think that they can change the bias in these Miatas. He must have got his downshift a little early and locked the rear tires.
Now, how do you do that? Is it normally just pop the clutch a little bit too early? Or?
Yeah, downshift a little too early, and the engine is revving too high, and it locks up the rears.
Yeah, not something that he wanted to do, and there it is.
Oh, Stearns.
Eric Stearns into the sand trap.
Ends up in the gravel. He got in trouble, and then it got worse up at turn 6.
Yeah, not sure if he had a problem there. Probably looked like the left rear tire might have been down, so not sure if that was a result of the contact that he had with his teammate there. Gets to the corner and loses, but it did look like that left rear tire was down. But how about Birdsey in the lead now, taking the win?
All by himself, Jeff. You can't hold the lead all by yourself. You're going to get reeled in. And here they come. Drago outside of Reynolds into Canada. Reynolds trying to hold him off. And he does. Right on the bumper of Birdsey. But now Drago's got company. That's Bender and Stain right in there. Look at Stain. He's up to 5th position.
Boy, top 7 cars, and they all have a chance to win this round.
Hey, is that my car in 7th place? Is that Leveroni?
Yes, it is. Leveroni.
Blue and orange. Go, Nick. Come on, man. Get
Look
up there.
Look at that. Leveroni up to 6th place.
He's up to 6th. He started, what, 25th? He was back there. Here's some action. Okay, Reynolds pulls out. Oh, Birdsey, you're in trouble, my friend. You got a triple draft coming by you on the left. Make that all 6 cars taking a shot at it.
And look at Joey Jordan up to 7th now. He started way back in 23rd.
Drago drops it inside.
And look at that. To the inside is Elvian Goulart now looking to see if he can make his championship again. Can he win 2 today? He's already got 1. It is a waving yellow in 1 as they go side by side.
Guys. Holy mackerel. I'm not liking what I'm seeing there, but they got through.
Yeah, that's scary stuff there as Jim Drago takes the lead. Elvian Goulart in 2nd. And Birdsey back up to 3rd, or back to 3rd. Matt Reynolds 4th, 5th is Stein, 6th. Your buddy there, Nick Leveroni, in 6th, and then 7th. It is Joey Jordan.
Joey Jordan, great job, son of Joe Jordan and nephew of Jim Jordan, Mazda stalwarts since the autocross days in the 80s.
And here it is, right to the inside of Drago there. Can he make it hold, though? That was a big, locks up that left front tire, got to the outside, over-under for Drago.
Back by him, and this is going to cause a traffic jam behind because it's going to slow him down.
Remember, we
Drago
have Eric
drives all the way by him into 6th.
We have Eric Stearns' car off in the gravel trap somewhere here, too, so got to watch out for those waving yellows.
Yellow, yeah. I'm trying to memorize these car colors, Jeff, and it's not easy.
Well, Jim Drago coming down the straightaway, Elvian Goulart in 2nd, and
Nick Leveroni
Birdsey in 3rd. Stein in 4th.
Oh, Goulart gets in a little hot. Birdsey around the outside in the carousel. Stain running with him. Can we go too wide through the carousel? I don't know. We're going to find out, folks. Holy moly, nobody's lifting.
It's amazing. Look at the top 5 cars in this line, and the mirrors are not sticking out. They're all pushed in on these cars. That's how close the racing is here in Spec Miata. But Jim Drago.
Drago out front. But he's all by himself. These cars are going to line up and reel him in on that straightaway.
See, is this the last lap that they are working
5.
on here? I sort of lost track of the lap count here.
I did too, but there ain't much time left. We're spread out 4 wide, so it probably is the last lap. Goulart outside Birdsey. He's in trouble. He's in the dirt. He's bouncing up and down like crazy. Staines trying him around the outside into 13.
It's a battle for the podium here in third. It looks like it might be Jim Drago in the lead. Wojtek Birdsey is in second, but how about Stein onto the inside? He's going to hold that position through turn number 14 down the straightaway. Can Jim Drago hold him off for his second, be the only 2-time champion in Spec Miata, now consecutive 2012 champion, coming up the hill.
Here he comes.
Here it is, checkered flag, but look at this, onto the inside. Not going to be enough. It is Jim Drago, your 2013 now 2-time Spec Miata
with
champion.
Flat Out Motorsports gets a 5th. Joey Jordan gets a 6th.
As they cross the line, it was Jim Drago in first, Wojtek Birdsey in second, Danny Stein in third, Elvion Goulart in fourth, and Nick Lavroni in fifth. Your guy, fifth place.
I'll tell you what, and they're still racing. They're still coming across the line, and they're going to be racing for a long time. Let me tell you, there's 2 miles of cars in this field.
Yeah, look at this. We still talk about this side by side here. The number 14 Miata. That still looking on my charts here.
There's Amy
so
Mills
far
from
down.
the Flat Out team. Survived the race. I'm happy to see that. They're still racing to the finish line, folks.
Boy, it is amazing to see these guys. Yeah, look
still
at this.
Still coming.
Number 23, David Cox leading that group there. The number 85 car right behind him.
The 11 of David Schroeder.
Michael Mackes in that gaggle as well.
And finally, they've all got the checker. The 80 car brings it up. Spencer Patterson, congratulations for making the finish. Oh, the 18 is back out of the dirt. He was up front. Daniel Bender, the 13 car, they're still coming across the line.
Boy, I tell you what, boy, this action, there was so much going on in this group. I don't even know where to start or where to finish. We had so much action. So Danny Stein getting the GoPro Hero move of the race, starting all the way back. I believe he started way back in 26th and finishes on the podium, gets a medal here at the Runoffs in third. How about that?
That guy's a racer, let me tell you. Nick Lavroni comes up from 16th to a 5th place finish. Joey Jordan comes up from 23rd to a 6th place finish.
Yeah,
very
great run for him. Rookie making his runoffs debut as well.
He's got some great coaching from Joe and Jim Jordan, his father and his uncle.
But we did see some stuff during the race that we don't know what might happen.
Oh my gosh.
There was some passes under yellow, or maybe not yellow. Maybe it was saving. This is all provisional. You can always check out the results at SCCA.com. You can see the replay of all the races going on at SpeedcastTV.com. Stay tuned because we're going to try to run through the field here. We'll get our breath caught up as Jim Drago, your provisional 2013 SCCA Runoffs champion, 2-time champion now, have Wojtek Birdsey in second, Danny Stein in third. How about that, your podium?
You know what I like seeing here, Jeff, is that Birdsey, he went by Drago for a little bit, but then he backed off. I think on the cool-off lap, the winner gets to lead. Don't pass the winner on the cool-off lap. It's sort of like a pre-victory lap if he's running any kind of pace. Sometimes they slow down and do donuts. We haven't seen any donuts today. I wonder if that's illegal in SCCA. Maybe a Miata can't do a donut.
Well, you'll have to find out when you win STL. I want you to be able to do a donut for me in STL.
Would it be awkward if I did a donut when I was 23rd?
No, not at all, but you should do it anyway. Absolutely do it
yes,
anyway.
23rd.
The coolest thing that I'm seeing here, too, is each of these drivers has their hand out the window, and they're saluting all these course workers, and all the course workers are saluting these drivers as well. Talk about camaraderie there. check out Birdsey. He's having a ball here, a second there, and boy, Jim Drago, how about that? He set on the pole, was your fastest qualifier in the first qualifying session on Tuesday. They had rain on Wednesday's qualifying, drying track on Thursday's qualifying. So his best time was earlier in the weekend, Tuesday. You got to get it done. You got to get it done early.
And you got to survive. And he made it through the wars, running back there. He was like about 4th for a long time. and there was a lot of drama and crashing going on around him, and all these drivers that just get to the finish in a race like that have done a great job.
Yeah, they'll go through, and I'm sure there'll be some video review, but there's John Noonan there on the
and guess what?
on
These
the line.
cars are strictly controlled. They are not allowed to modify the cars much at all, and they're going to go to a tech inspection. Those engines will be torn down and inspected, rear ends, transmissions, just to see that they meet the actual spec. Spec Miata races aren't over until tech is over and you're released from tech.
But we do have our man down on pit lane, John Biziano. John, what you got down there for us?
Well, this is what it takes to win in Spec Miata. There's certainly a little bit of what NASCAR calls rubbing. Here it's rubbing and bumping. But, you know, the SCCA really doesn't like to see that. But when you start almost 70 cars, it's got to happen, especially when they're going 3 and 4 abreast. A lot of congratulations going on down here. You know, this car was perfectly clean before it went out for the start of the race. And it is covered in lots of people's tires and a lot of people's exhaust. Congratulations, it's going down to Jim. We're going to get a medal on him. Come on, Bonnie, let's get that gold medal on Jim. That's what he's out here for. A little bit of water. Hoosier Tires has their banner around his neck. Even up here, I mean, this is pure dust and dirt where people in front of him have been going off in front of him. Look at this. Jim, you didn't make it look easy at all, buddy. I mean, we were worried about you in those opening laps. What happened at the start?
I made a big mental mistake. I did the for a 3-2 downshift when I was supposed to be going 3-4. Zinged the motor real bad, and you know I was relaxed, but I don't know. I never did that shift in my life, and it did it the worst possible time. And then everybody was so close, and it was just hard to get through. I have the biggest apology to make to my teammate Eric Stearns. We had both very good cars, and he was on the outside of 5, and I went to downshift. We were both in pretty deep, and when I dropped the clutch, the car got sideways and just nudged him off, and then he ended up putting it off in 6, but he had a car to win, and I was just sick that I got into him a little bit there because one of my best friends.
It seemed like there was a lot of that going on out there. Wasn't this a little bit rougher than normal?
Well, it was a lot rougher than last year when I just led from the from the start. But yeah, you know, a lot of guys were blocking and a lot of zigzagging. It was very rough. I was just trying to stay alive and stay close to the end. Steve's car was really fast. Deep apologies to Craig. His car started missing, probably the cam or crank sensor, and he had to pull over. I think he had the car to beat. And Steve was, you know, giving me the lineup sign, but his car was popping so loud I knew he didn't have anything either.
Well, listen, congratulations on a great drive.
Thank my crew too. Thank to my guys, York and Ricky and Robert, and my wife and kids at home. Thank you.
It's the small things that count, and obviously they know what they are.
Yes, sir.
All right, congratulations on that gold medal. Well, actually, a little bit less damage on the car that came second, the number 41 of Wojtek, but I've got it. This nice silver medal on Wojtek here. Let me ask you, have you ever seen so much action during not only a championship, but for sure during just a regular Spec Miata race, for heaven's sakes?
Yes, no, this is a great race. It was really one of the most action-packed races I've ever been in, for sure, and this is my 5th try at the Runoffs, and I made it to the podium, so I'm happy with that. Thank you.
Well, and when in the race did you feel that you might be able to make that podium? I mean, you were just surrounded the whole time. It wasn't really till the last lap when you took the flag that you knew you were going to be there.
Well, after the restart, it took me another at least two laps, because the tires were coming in just much later than I expected. So therefore, I knew I was going to have a good pace to the end, and I was happy with that. Even though midway through I was buried pretty deep in, but I was confident that things are going to start coming back to me.
Congratulations on a great run. All right. And Danny, now this is a gentleman who qualified 26th. There were 25 other cars in front of you. You had a look at the lead. You were in the lead at one point, I believe. And my gosh, what in the world, how did you stay safe and sane out there with all that going around you? Were you actually looking for a place to kind of stay out of it and just watch the other guys take each other out?
Well, John, it's great to actually finally stand here with you for the first time in all my attempts. I'm actually on the podium, and to come from 26th to 3rd, all I can tell you is that despite all the difficulties we faced the entire week, we never gave up. We just never had any luck, but it all came together on the last race, the last event. But I can tell you it was a war out there. Anybody who has no idea, that was an absolute war. I have to thank my crew chief here, Tom Fowler, and the entire OPM crew for putting an amazing car together. My engine builder, Mr. Mike Rossini, who never gave up on me, and I'm so glad to finally get a podium. And to my partner, Hunter Fry, back home, thanks for letting me take the week off. And I hope you're watching this there, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And to SCCA for the most amazing event. Thank you so much.
Once again, 2012 champion, now two-time SCCA national champion in Spec Miata, Jim Drago. Second place, Wojtek Birdsey. We talked to him. He's excited, and boy, was Danny Stein really excited there. Boy, the old motocross racer switched the cars, has a roof over him now, and he made his way through the field, earning that GoPro move of the race. Gets that GoPro Hero 3 camera, which, might I add, once again, I still don't have one.
26th to 3rd in a Spec Miata field is an amazing run. And Drago winning 2 in a row, another great accomplishment for Jim Drago. And Wojtek Birdsey, who runs here at Road America, I'm assuming all the time because he's from right down in Chicago, Illinois area. Kind of a local hero. So we had quite a story. It did look like it was a war out there, and part of that is the survival technique. Guys like Stain and Leveroni and Jordan, who came all the way up there, they survived. Stayed out of that messes, made the right passes. That's some good racing.
Looking at our top 10 now, Randy, you want to go ahead and run us through there for the 2013 SCCA Runoffs in Spec Miata?
Jim Drago makes it 2 in a row by taking the lead right near the end from Wojtek Birdsey, who hangs on for a second place finish. Danny Stain scores it 3rd. Elevin Goulart gets a 4th after winning earlier today in the STU class. Nick Leveroni, my car owner, brings it home 5th, and it's still running. So I get to run STL on Sunday morning unless Nick changes his mind over at Flat Out Motorsports. Joey Jordan, son of Joe Jordan and nephew of Jim Jordan, Mazda Racers for life, 6th place from back there around 20th. Matt Reynolds hangs on for a 7th. Alex Bolanos, 8th place. Justin Elder, 9th place. And in 10th, Jeff Luckridge rounds up the lineup.
Well, that's going to do it here for us for the 2013 SCCA Runoffs in Spec Miata. Thank you so much for joining us at SpeedcastTV.com. Look for all the information, all the results, and replays of the event at SpeedcastTV.com and SCCA.com. For Randy Popes, my name is Jeff Lepper. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time. The 2013 SCCA Runoffs are brought to you by Mazda. Zoom, zoom.
It's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You wish the freeway on-ramp was your personal racetrack. Well, buckle up, buddy, because the Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and events across the country, the SCCA has all the excitement you can handle. Dance the blacktop two-step with SCCA Solo. Get down and dirty with SCCA Rallycross. Or go wheel-to-wheel with SCCA Club Racing. Hit the track with the SCCA, where America's best drivers race.
He ignored the naysayers and never compromised. When Thomas Edison threw the switch, it changed everything. Engineering without compromise. This is the Mazda way. And this is the Mazda CX-5. SkyActiv technology makes it lighter yet stronger, earning a top safety pick. And more fuel efficient than any hybrid SUV. This is the uncompromised Mazda CX-5. What do you drive?